The cut needs to be not very deep. You know, you need to make sure you get through the wall of each one of those corrugations. But if you go too deep, then you can affect the strength of your pipe. There it is. There. There's a faint seam there, and you don't need this. Don't need this. Hopefully, we have some little screws. We can screw these pipes together in the coupler. There. That's the circular saw blade does not like it when it hits that stuff. Yeah, it'll float. You got to get it down below the water. Oh, good, tense. What? Well, you know, just because I couldn't reach, because of the coupler, I couldn't reach those, so. Need some staples, Brandon? Have that or a cordless screw gun, I would just put this in there and put a bunch of little short screws around to hold the two together. But in the absence of that, we're just going to try to rely on friction. Put this back on and then just push it, have everybody push. Plus we have all these people here, so we can just push them together. And then maybe somebody can come back and put a few screws in at a later date. In the center? Oh, here? Yeah, exactly, yeah. And usually I put it down near the bottom when it goes through. Just a question of whether to put it on this or put it right on the floor. And one advantage for putting it here is that, you know, if you have sedimentation under here, but the one thing that concerns me is that if you like set the pipe up too high, and then it's going back towards the Beaver Dam, and it'll sort of drop down like this, and then it goes up over the dam. So you've created this U shape here that will also trap sediments. But we'll put it at 6 inches. Take that and put that through the pipe and wrap it as an attachment as well. Yeah. I think that's plenty big enough. Okay guys, how about we put these pipes together? One thing we want to do is we want to make sure the kerf marks are lined up in each pipe. So we need a few people on that pipe and a few on this one. Try to push it together. Oh yeah, yep. Is this the little guy? Yeah. Thank you for reminding me of that. I don't know what the right direction is for this. Oh yeah, just like that. Yep, just like that. Here, I'll hold the pipe up. Yep, there you go. So let's keep those kerf right at the top, okay? Right at the top.
When?
Somebody push. Everybody push it.
We need more bodies, guys.
Well, we might need lubrication here, but.
Put it down. Put it down. Got that in? Yep. Got it. One.
It's resisting. Always throw a little oil on it. It might help. Doesn't hurt.
What's the matter with you? You got some plastic on one of those rubber things. We can wrap it in.
Okay, guys. See what we can do. Keep the kerfs up.
Keep the what?
This kerf at the top. I think we might need how about a sledgehammer on one end? Yeah, there we go. Yep. It's going now. Good job.
Four.
I think you can go more. Still moving. You might have it. But I think the easiest thing might be to attach the, especially because we have so many people here, might be easiest just to attach the filter to the pipe up here where we have a good work surface, and then we can all just sort of carry it down into place. One thing we do need, though, we need a breach in the middle of the dam. I'm not going to use the one on the edge. We can refill that, or the beavers will refill it. So if somebody wants to volunteer for that, just a gap wide enough for the pipe, down a ways, right in somewhere in the middle. What? You're not locked in once you set that pipe. You can come back and lower it or raise it up.
What I'm trying to get at is, are you basically taking some off the top of the dam and resting the pipe over it? Or are you trying to put the pipe through?
Yeah, no, you can make a cut right down through and then slide the pipe right down it. And then you can cover it up if you want.
Okay.
Or the beavers will. Not too deep, guys. I don't think. I mean, it's not much of a dam even now.
Does it need to be right in the middle, or does it need?
Are we going to plug this over here?
But and we have that. Yeah, let's get that drill and drill a hole.
Yeah.
Rod right through, because or nails or screws that are too long, because then debris inside the pipe would catch on those things and you'd lose some capacity. So to make this attachment, I just go right through the corrugation. It's not a whole lot of meat to that here, and that'll definitely be the weak point, not the steel, but this little bit of plastic here. But the way I put it in here, you can sort of put it in there tight, and it'll catch a little bit on these wires that you bend back. That helps. And in addition to that, it's going to be braced down, and so there'll be a lot of resistance, on the thing. There'll be a lot of things sort of holding it in place when the flood comes, including the bottom. This will silt in a little bit, and so this thing will be, pretty tight to the bottom as well. Oh yes. Do have a drill. That's easier here. I don't always drill a hole. Sometimes I just hammer the rod right through, but and as I keep repeating, every site's different. So, sometimes you have to build them, put them together down in the water. If you're working alone here, you couldn't do this. You'd have to try to set it up down in there. And it's more of a challenge to get these connections made well when you're working down in the water. So ideally you can do them Do them on a relatively flat surface right next to the place where they're going to go in. Okay, where's my bendy pipe? Huh. That's weird. Maybe it's down here. There it is. I have a little bendy pipe in there and it doesn't fit this wire, so here's my big one. I think if you have water running through it, it might be too deep. Pretty hard to determine. This is something you're going to have to monitor, and it can be raised or lowered if necessary. But remember the rule, we want to have it as high as we can tolerate that dam. And another thing that this does is that, you know, there's a tendency for the pipes to spin as you're putting the thing in. And if these curves end up down here, then you got all this air trapped up here. So this helps prevent that from happening as well. Well, I mean, in the presence of beavers, the best indication is the top of the dam. I mean, in the absence of beavers, during low flow periods, this little pipe will carry the water. It'll carry the flow. And so it'll be down at the bottom of the pipe or the midpoint of the pipe. But if beavers are here, the dam's going to be established. Then during your high flow periods, it's going to be the top of the dam. So you just have to see how it plays out. You may not get a beaver in here, for another year or so. Who knows? Yeah. It's not centered? Yeah, not a big deal.
It's deeper here than it is over there?
Oh, no. No, not a big deal. Now, what's deeper?
Well,
the water?
The water.
The channel?
Yeah,
no, this is fine. We'll put the filter in the middle and we'll just bend the pipe just a little bit. No problem.
There's someone there, though.
Do you ever have a situation where you can't get down to a bank, like it's really steep, and just build it while you're in there? Put the cage in there?
Yeah, no, I mean, the beauty of the cage, I mean, there was one place in Virginia where it was awful like that, really steep. And so I built the filter up on the road, and I just rolled it down the bank. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty easy getting pipes into places. But yeah, so you know, that's a situation there. You wouldn't put the whole thing together beforehand. You'd have to put, yeah, you have to do that down in place. So every site's different. So I'm most concerned about the joint. So let's try to keep the undue pressure off of that. And if you don't have waders on, you don't want to go too far. I'll take over. I'll take over down there. Don't trip. Shit. Okay, guys. Yeah, we'll be okay. There's 4 of us. That's 3 more than I'm used to. Bring it on. We want to go downstream a little bit. Let's put this right in the middle. Okay. That's probably good. Let's look at that. Let's just drop it and take a look. Looks pretty good to me. What? Yeah, yeah. You know, probably so, but nothing we can do. it'll, you know, just try to come back with some screws at some point. But another problem with that is we're going to put these braces over the pipes, and so it'll be hard to get up to screw it. It may be fine. It may be fine without anything. Just thinking about those massive floods. So, yeah, that's good. You ever, you know, typically you don't have to do anything down at this end, but you know sometimes the beavers cause trouble down there. But you don't need a full-fledged filter. Sometimes I just make sort of a roof over it. You can take a piece of fencing and lay it over the top, or a bunch of brush, and just sort of sneak the water out underneath that. And then,
Aren't you at that level? Isn't there going to be a little you know, spillway or spill?
yeah, that's a good point, and that's a bad thing because you don't want to create a bunch of noise.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, we can bend it down a little bit like that, you know. But keep in mind too, the water levels are going to be fluctuating, and this is, you know, if the beavers come back in here, I mean, we breached the dam down there, so that water is going to get a little higher. If there's beavers in here, that's going to happen first probably. But yeah, you'd like you know, ideally a sort of a smooth transition, and then sort of leveling out down here, so it spills, you know, into the downstream area as quietly as possible. In fact, you know, let's just for the heck of it, let's just bring it this way a little bit, guys. I think that's great. Length is good. You know, I love that good separation distance. That adds a lot of security. So, I mean, don't be afraid to use three pipes or 2.5 pipes. Again, the situations vary. Sometimes you don't have room for any more than one pipe. Adds a lot of security. But we could actually afford to be a little closer with this pipe because we have a really advantageous ratio between the size of the pipe and the size of the filter. I mean, that's better than average. Now we need the sledgehammer and braces, and then the screw gun and screws. Then just, you know, using the water as your level and the wire, you just try to get it level. Oh, wait. Another thing we have to do, guys, we have to spin it because you want this pipe coming in the center of your filter. And right now it's, so we take this and we just spin it counterclockwise a little bit. Lift it up. There you go. Beautiful. And you see how that the opening is at the downstream end of the filter. That's logical for a number of reasons. Some people put it right in the middle, but you know, the flow's this direction, right? And so, in addition to that, the last place you want beavers to detect that flow is right here on the front face. This is the natural face to dam against. So if they're going to detect it anywhere, you want them to detect it down on that side. But given the flows are going this way, and the orientation of the pipe, you know, acts to guide them in this direction, then the water's going a little. The water molecules are going a little faster up at this direction. There's not many coming in and back, so you want those coming, you know, just as slow as possible up here, and you want to spread that flow over the, you know, the whole perimeter. If that hole's right in the middle, then the whole downstream side of the filter is really not doing anything, and there's a much shorter distance between here and the beavers, and there's going to be the water's going to be moving faster, so there's a better chance that they'll detect it. So this is the way to set it up. Anyway, some people just use, and that's kind of how flow devices started. I think the first ones were put in back in the 1950s or something. And they're just simple PVC pipes, perforated PVC pipes. So the filter in that case is the sum total of all those little holes in the pipe. So it amounts to a very small filter, in other words. And plus, you don't have as pure a separation between the dam, because the holes go all along the pipe. And I've seen instances where beavers will detect the water flowing into those little holes, and those gradually work their way out from the dam along the whole pipe. So this, with a solid pipe, it gives you a better, you know, a purer separation. Yeah, we just got to get this down here. It's already a little low there, actually. Just trying to get it level. Looks better. Right about in here, maybe. Oh, I did something else I need. I need some. I need some. No, it's about. See, I don't really want it to hump too much in the middle. Actually, up a little might be even preferable, but no, that's not bad. Not bad. We don't want to drive it down anymore. That was good. Nice one. Well, we don't have the chainsaw, or do we? Yeah, we do. Could cut that off.
Stewart!
During a drought, and you don't have it braced down, then when it comes back up, even with the holes in the pipe and everything, it'll float it like a canoe. You get a big arc in the pipe without any water going through it. So the bracing is, you know, it's really important. Boy, I'm not hitting the center very well either. Might need your handsaw, Deb. That doesn't start. I gotta cut this. Well, a couple months ago. I like it. During the flood with all the water pushing against us, you know, it's a little more streamlined. It's going to be above the water. Oh, in the pipe. Well, yeah, I mean, we don't have them though. That's the trouble. So, I think we'll leave that right there. It's going to be accessible. Or yeah, cordless thing. Yeah, yeah. No, let's leave that there. We'll put a brace in the, brace or two up that way. Obviously made of wood, and beavers will chew them. So what I do is I cut a row of that 6x6 stuff, about 3-4 feet long. Then I just put that right down on the surface and staple it on. So what I'm saying is I need a volunteer. Again, if somebody wants to go make a couple of those, just one row of those 6x6 squares, that long. I need two. Well, yeah, make a few pieces. Thank you. We'll use them up above if we don't use them here. So we're all the way in as far as we want to be. Well, I don't know. You're the pounder. Did you pound this one some more? Yeah, yeah. I'm sure they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
These I think are 6 inches. Yep. They're great designs. They come in at least three sizes. I have all three. Really nice. Well, you almost have to take a note down, see what the company is. You know. may have to call the company and find out where they're available. Makes a big difference though. Yep, it's to prevent them from being chewed off. What?
They don't usually chew in between?
They might.
Or you keep room in between?
Yeah, it'd be difficult. They could do it if they were determined to, but if it's a little inconvenient, they're probably not going to do it. If they thought like humans, you know, and they step back and they say, well, if we cut these braces off, the pipe's going to float and then the water won't go through, you know, but they never look at the big picture, which is the only thing that makes it possible for me to be successful.
That and have the beavers build over time?
Well, I've never left a pipe just like that. You know, I try to avoid those waterfall situations. But they do sometimes, you know, try to do stuff at the downstream end. But it's a minority of cases. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, they will put stuff over the pipe, yep, and around it. And, yeah. There you go. Thank you.
Can't use this one.
No, that's garbage. If you want to get that other piece over there. Oops, I need to cut this a little more. What? Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. That was in Colorado too. I've never gotten it in the East. Those are some serious bolt cutters. Got it. Whoa. Pipe is moving.
Pound it? I was gonna say, you're pretty trusting.
He's good. And so if you want to change this out, just change the elevation of the pipe. Just take the wire off and then cut these with a chainsaw. You know, if you want to bring it up. If you want to bring it down, well, you may have to remove it to bring it down to dig underneath it. Yep. That's good. Pull. Well,
Daryl, can you pull?
Can anybody pull it together? Thank you.
There.
Beautiful, beautiful. Nice job.
Hey, you want me to pull them together?
It's difficult to cut those off, where it's really easy to cut wood. And wood is really stiff too, you know, relative to a piece of rebar, you know, which is really bendy, surprisingly. Yeah, we'll just cut this sucker off. Thank you. But we want the pipe to be pushed down a little bit. There, so a little bit of weight on that may be helpful. Thanks. No, I'm trying to keep as much water in here as possible. Because the lower this gets, the lower we manage this water up here, the more likely a new beaver dam is going to occur up here, and then that making our system irrelevant to some degree. You know, you don't want to have to. What?
You kind of want to keep your beaver ponds in place, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, the dams. I mean, the dam is a crucial part of the whole system, and the water. I mean, this water is the defense against future dams up there. The higher you can hold it, the better. So this is pretty low. This isn't much of a dam. I mean, it's certainly conceivable that a massive flood could move it. It's not going to happen in a typical event, though. That's for sure. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else heard this, but I'm a little concerned. And again, in some of the literature you find out there on the web and elsewhere, you see these flexible pipe uses where the pipe goes down to the beaver dam, then essentially down to the bottom, and then it comes up again, and maybe a foot or two up and into the filter. And so you have this U shape. My concern is that fine sediment will get trapped in there, and gradually the pipe will fill up. So even here we have a little tiny bit of a U, which I don't like. And we could tie a rope around underneath the pipe and pull it up just a little bit to those braces. But it's not bad. It's not bad. Usually don't have the luxury of doing that because typically you're in deeper water, so it's hard to adjust out there. It's possibly another argument for. You remember when I put the pipe into the round fence? I put it 6 inches up. So if that was 6 inches down, if it was right down to the floor, then you'd have a nice straight shot with that pipe. But then, of course, you might have some concern about siltation on the floor of the filter, clogging the entry point there. Probably.
Here's the end of the culvert right here. It's all squished down.
Gee.
We've got a gap about that deep.
That's another thing that is real common when I come to these sites. Is backhoes have been used for years to, and consider the expense of that type of a defense. But often the culverts are just beat to hell by the backhoe. And this may have been. I wonder if the the top of it was ripped right off.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a good reason to protect culverts before they get clogged. Really difficult site to do well because I just don't know where to place those posts. I don't have a true sense of. We'll send a pipe system out from that as security. I'm not going to build a very big fence here, so you need a pipe system to keep the water flowing. But
I bent that up out of the way.
jeez. Yeah, don't quite know where to start. And of course, I go through these waders are really expensive, and I go through lots and lots of waders, and situations like this where you have old rusting underwater steel are really dangerous, both for your waders and your skin. So I don't know. Pretty weird. I think I may have to just start really wide, but this is all metal over here too, so that makes it really hard not only to drive posts, but then to put a piece of fencing down, because you want to go real low with that fencing, but you're going to be hitting culvert here, so you have to mold around it. Go! Stop! God. Yep, it's not I'm trying to think of some way around this, and I think, yeah, I know. Boy, the thing to do here, I think, is just to put a fence right across, straight fence, shoulder to shoulder, and then put a relatively big pipe, maybe a 12-inch pipe right through it to prevent it from, you know, a dam really being meaningful here. I think that's the way to go, given that nature of that situation. It'd be a lot easier. It'd be a lot easier.
And what's the likelihood that the beaver will go around the end of it?
Around the end of the fence? Oh, I don't know. They can certainly do that. They can swim through the culvert, and you know, they can be in here. But if it's a very small space here to gather damming materials, you know, it's just kind of awkward for the beavers. It's not very likely if you have a fence here that they'll gather stuff up and dam that. You know how I said beavers usually start dams in shallower water too. I mean, this is kind of a hole now. It's been dug out. It's not the most logical place to dam, particularly when there's a fence here. So I think we'll be fine. So a relatively short fence. What? Yeah, a little bit on these shoulders. Yeah, well, no, I'm going to choose the high ground here. It starts to, well, it stays high pretty. Yeah, that's not bad, actually. Yeah, we could come right here. Is pretty good. And we can. I think we can. We might be able to use those short posts, which is good. To make some more probably. And we'll need some. We'll need to make some for diagonal braces. I don't know, Barbara. I haven't decided on my spacing yet. Yeah, maybe 5 or 6 posts. Kind of doesn't really matter. You know, it doesn't have to be exact. It's just a matter of aesthetics, basically. Yeah, whether it looks balanced or not. But one thing I'm going to strive for is just to make it really rugged. What? Yeah, a little, tie it into the bank. Just go straight across. Yeah, super. Great. Where is it? Thank you very much. Okay, guys. I'm going to do this out. Let's see. Yeah, let's work.
About there?
Yeah, that's good. We don't go too far. Is that level? Are people up there? Is that up and straight up and down? Okay. I don't know if it is in this direction. I think it needs to go this way just a little bit. And besides, if anything, the forces of nature over the years are going to push it back a little.
It's already gone
too far, isn't it?
well.
It's okay. Let's go down deeper. We want rugged. That's probably good. You know. I don't want the beavers. You know, I don't want them going over it too much. They're going to have the option of going over it during floods, but during average times, I don't want that, because if they can go over that easy, they may dam that. So we definitely don't want it any lower than that. Geez, I think we can have a pretty tight spacing. We'll maybe 2 feet or something. We'll make it a little ruggeder. Maybe 3 feet. I don't know. 2 feet, 3 feet. What do you guys think? 2 feet?
2 on center, or do you want to go?
Huh?
2 foot on center?
It doesn't matter. This is rough average. But the hard thing is going to be, as we put more in, is lining them up.
A little to the north. More forward?
You guys want the tape, or are you satisfied with your level?
We can get the tape.
Looks pretty good. I mean, but you just measure up from the water and you got it. I'll make a, we're gonna need a post in there. We're gonna need 2 more of those short posts. Is that your last one?
The last one we got right here.
Okay. Okay, I'll make another one.
Too long?
Well, we can just cut it off. It's harder to drive, you know, when it's up. But we will need some diagonal braces. We can use those 3 for that. Thanks, Dave.
You're welcome.
You're a great help.
You want to cut it?
God. Yeah, I thought you might appreciate that. Oh, yeah, that's another issue. We were going to use those pipes. Yeah, those extra pipes I did, we were going to use at another site this weekend. So maybe what we'll do is we'll grab a 12-inch pipe, and we will need to do the rips on it.
Are you doing anything on that one drain?
On what?
On this other drain that's coming?
No. And if you were to do something on that, you'd do it on the upstream end.
Okay. So,
But there's no water. Typically, there's not even any water in there, so they haven't had a problem with that. Yeah, we got to get a.
Rip the
Yeah, I think I need to go over there and take a look and see what we have. I think we need to use a 12-inch pipe on this. Actually, we could bring that. Just kind of tempted to try to get by with one pipe on this, but. Just want to get a sense of where one pipe will leave us. I'd like to, you know, if possible, just do it, get by with one. Yeah, I think I'll use 2 just to, I mean, we have the extra one here. It doesn't have to go very far. But it would be better to have the filter up there. Let's face it, so. I just had to make that decision. I think we have to now put the pipe back up there to put it together. So if you lift it up and then pour the water out of it.
Is there any issue with this other culvert here?
No, that stays dry most of the time, so they haven't had any problems. Oh yeah. That makes it lighter. First, probably be just as easy to do it second. You know, you have to cutting that hole in the fence here. If you do, you know, you have to mold your fence around it. If you put the pipe in first, and if you put the pipe in second, I think it's easier to put the pipe in second. You know, cut the hole there underneath the water. Yep, it's going to sit right in the bottom. So this is a little simpler. We don't have to hump it. I don't know whether that bay or this bay is the place to put it.
Maybe probably this one here.
Yeah.
I think that
Okay.
straight direct in the middle.
Okay, we'll put it right against this, right there.
How many diagonals are you thinking? About 3?
Well, you know, I'd be tempted to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
We got another.
Not do that 2 outside ones. You know, just thinking about those floods.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna have to bring some wood back. But let's just do what we have. And I got the screws and a screw gun. If you guys want to, I'll show you roughly how I want it. And you know, just try to hit that 45-degree angle, and maybe about like that. I don't know if you're gonna hit the bottom of that culvert at the. Actually, that's where we wanted to put the pipe, so I think I'll put it on this side of this one.
How high do you want it to?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, pretty high. Yeah, something like that. You know, something like that. What?
Start sloping right there.
Okay, well, we got a nice long brace, so we're okay. But what we'll have to do is we'll have to protect that from chewing too, because the beavers are going to be kicking around back there from time to time. So there you go. I just need a sledgehammer and I'll get the screw gun. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, how about your handsaw? Where's that? I couldn't get. Maybe the gas will help. Thanks.
You want to try to pound any more?
Want me to screw it or not?
Pretty sturdy, eh?
Is it in there good? Oh, yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah, that's way in there. Let's screw it.
Pretty solid.
Nice. Yep. Oh, good. Boy, this wood's so dry. It's so dry. It's splitting easy. It is brittle, yeah. You don't have to cut it that. What if you do have to cut it that close? Yeah, what the hell? Cut it. It'd be easier to put the fencing on. It doesn't. My attitude is that the overall ecological gain by building a really effective flow device that allows you to keep beavers around is just so great that it outweighs those relatively minor issues.
Yeah, sure.
That's me. And I like working with wood. So there. Excuse me. We'll come back and thanks a lot, Dave. Yeah, yeah. What? Yeah, and I think let's get a floor piece in place first. Probably one of our scrap pieces, and try to lay that in. Just to, yeah, because if you just put a fence down there, even if you put the prongs in, they're quite likely to dig underneath it. So we'll get a nice big piece in here as a floor. Yeah, if there's a chunk like kind of similar in size to this, a full length piece, 3, 4, 5 feet, we'll use it as a floor piece.
Okay, let me ask one.
Yep.
How much?
Pull them all up.
Yeah, right.
So are you going to tie it on? Do you tie this on to the...
No,
No?
it's just going to be.
I'm wondering if we need to...
Yeah, I might do something with that. Yeah, I still haven't determined my exact design.
Just flip it over, put these points back this way.
Huh?
Long points.
Yeah. Let's roll it. I think I do want those over there. Okay. And I think I'm going to bend those down as well. Sorry. Oh, hold on. Okay, let's just set it on top of the post just for a second. Yeah, but we could at least do this, and then just cut. All we have to do is go and cut that. Where the diagonals are, and I think we can slip it down. But so, and then I'll take my bendy pipe and I'll bend those things down so they're pointing down, the ones that are left.
And again, come over it, so you don't have to worry.
Yeah, I'm not worried about this thing. Yeah, this isn't going to be attached to anything either. I should start bending, huh? And get it from this angle. Here. Yeah, this wire will just butt up against it. Pipes up there?
Can you catch these?
Absolutely. I got one here. Thank you very much, Dave. Just bend them straight down.
You need bolt cutters?
Yeah, we need to cut that corner off. Yeah, that's fine, I think. You got a rock underneath it? Yep. Yeah, I got to get that sucker. Yeah. There's a little high spot there in the mud too. Yeah, I'm not worried. No, yeah, I mean, if there's a spot like that that's sticking up. Thank you. That'll make it a little more difficult for them to dig a big tunnel underneath. Okay, let's put our, what I think we're going to have to do is, we're going to have to mold these ends a little bit, but we also have to have the points. Well, let's stick it in there. We may get lucky. I think we're going to have to cut this all off so we have the points going in.
Probably. Do you want us to do that up there?
No, that's okay. Let's just stick it in place and see. I'm almost positive, but we'll put the sharp, the good ends up. Yeah, it's not even going to be close. And, yeah, and over here in the ends, I'm going to have to mold quite a bit. Yeah, we'll go right to that right side. How's that? Yeah, excuse me. Let me get in there and cut that corner off. I think I'm just going to do this. My measurements can't be that far off. Yeah. Yep. Right to that post on the right. A little more to the right. Yeah, it sure is. I'm gonna have to cut that down. Something right in here is pretty shallow. Yeah, let me just taper that. You can just hold it right here. Think that needs to be tapered any more on the right side? I want this fence to be, yeah, it does. I need it to drop right down to the top of the post. Well, it should in the middle. I'm just going to have to taper it more. Okay. You know, the middle will be okay, I think. Oh, what the hell. This is just something you have to do. You know, the bottom's often, when you're building these fences, it's often not perfectly level. And when it's not level, you have to sort of mold the fencing to fit it. Excuse me?
You wanted the fence level.
Forces that are going to be on it during floods. Okay.
This strand right here, about right
Okay.
here, pop that right
Okay.
You get it?
You just lift it up.
Right there. Here, and the next one. And then that one, and then just chop it.
Okay. This isn't necessary, is it? It may get in your way.
If I'm gonna mash or something.
Yeah, it'll probably slip by. This is a good technique too, to sort of put weight on it and tap it.
It is in.
Yeah, that's good. Now we need a bunch of staples, guys, and hammers. I don't know if you have any, but
I don't have a hammer. Staples and hammer? You got anything bigger?
Well, there's two. I should have put them on.
yeah, what we'll do, we can just, we should probably cut this off first. Just cut that, yeah, cut that overhang on, that overlap. We don't need that.
By this.
Why?
And then we can use that to.
No, you can just staple it. Yeah, you'll be okay.
It'll be hard to do that.
Yeah.
No, that thing. Smash that one down. Push it in more this way.
Yeah, let's go to as far as we can this direction, because we're a little, okay.
I think you want that vertical around the post so that doesn't pull out.
The what?
So stay
Oh,
down the vertical.
oh yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Like that, right there.
Right there.
Yeah, that's it.
Good thinking. I like your attitude there.
Second last one in, and then this one you don't have any wood. Right when you see small. You just pop it down there. Put it down through
I just want to make a few comments before we got started. Thanks for coming back. This fence here is kind of a good example of a strategy that might work in areas where beavers are typically coming in from a river, from a known location. And at the end of the ditch, you can just build a fence across the ditch to try to exclude them. You're not going to exclude all beavers because you can't run the fence, forever. But you might be able to decrease the presence of beavers in that system by 90% or something. I think that's something to consider. And I've done this in one other place in New Mexico, in the acequia. And what I also did is I curved the sides of the fence up like this, so it's a horseshoe shape, facing downstream. So the theory is beavers will come, they'll hit that fence, then they'll go over and try to go around it, and they'll hit the wall going this way, and they might just bag it, as we say. Maybe that's just what we say. Maybe that's not known outside Vermont. I don't know, but in turn, just go back into the river. I think that's better if you can do that. Better than building a dozen flow devices up through the whole system, or constantly killing beavers and trying to using backhoes on culverts. Something to consider, anyways. And then the maintenance issue. in my experience, you know, my flow devices almost eliminate maintenance. I mean, the typical site, you go from situations where people have been using backhoes and killing beavers and repairing roads for years, if not decades, you know, representing, you know, oftentimes tens of thousands of dollars, sometimes millions of dollars. It's just amazing. But so I think, and of course this is a little different. You may have more debris in the system, which may, you know, require a little bit more cleaning of filters. I noticed that in Virginia, where they have a tremendous amount of organic debris in their systems, very rich in vegetation, you know, more so than more northerly areas. But still, a huge decrease in maintenance over what it was before, when they were trying to solve the problem lethally. And rarely are people successful, because beaver populations have reached a level, a regional, in most regions, where, you know, the dispersal factors, you know, or phenomenon is fairly common. And so there you go. I think, you know, whatever maintenance these require will be a huge improvement. But and the third thing I wanted to say is, I've been doing this for years and years and years, and I'm still doing new things. I'm always just try to remain completely open-minded to new techniques, and I came up with several just this summer. And as I have repeated many times, every site's different, but it takes a long time to sort of become good and instinctively know what to do. You really have to have a good understanding of beavers and beaver habitat and all possible flow device strategies. Flow device is a little bit of a narrow term too, because you know, sometimes if you build a fence up here, I mean, it's kind of an upland fence, you know. So, and if you try to exclude beavers from an area by eliminating their food supply, which I've done in certain cases, you know, by putting cylinders, mesh cylinders around trees, you know, that's not a flow device, but it is a non-lethal method of solving the problem. Anyway, it's very difficult to go to one workshop and to be good, and so I would hope that people would continue to take advantage of me and get me out here, and the more sites I can work with people that really want to learn this, I think that the more success you'll have in the future. And I really don't say that because I'm trying to drum up business for myself. I've seen this go bad so many times when people you know, who don't have much experience go out and try to do it. I don't want to discourage you, because I mean, that's how I started. I built really crappy flow devices and they all failed, but I didn't give up. I just kept going and going and going, and that first year was tough, but I eventually sort of figured out, you know, that the threshold of, you know, design quality and size and all that I needed to surpass at each site to be successful. So I don't want to discourage you, but I don't want you to be frustrated and fail either. So if you can't take advantage of experienced people, I think it's probably just a good general way to approach problems. I'll give you just a brief overview of what we're going to do today. I think we'll start just like yesterday on doing the dry work first, and we're going to clean these weeds. If somebody wants to get involved with that, we're going to do some sort of a little fence. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to be laid out, but I'll have a better idea when the weeds are gone. A little wing, if you will, on either side, just to make it difficult for the beavers to go around, you know, hopefully to turn them back. And then after we do that, we'll just put the caster master, the pipe system, in place. Okay, if somebody wants to clear the weeds a little bit, a few people can do that, and I'll start cutting some 2x4s for our posts, and then we'll do the pipe system. Yeah. Want me to put the points on? Or you want them? Go ahead. See, that could go a lot deeper, but what we can do is screw it to that one. That'll help. It'll, you know, we'll just go right up here. Just a little section through here. Yep. Yeah, that first one, and leave it like this, about that height. Two and a half. 7.5 feet by 2.5.
Okay.
With prongs in the bottom of the 2.5.
So
Two solid feet and then 6-inch prong.
Okay.
2.5 by 7.5. Right there, I guess. Well, let me see if it's lined up. It's not bad. The fence bends. That's good. This may have to push some of this back your way.
Probably better if we
Here you
can
go.
go down here. We can pop them in and then snip off what we don't need.
I think I'm gonna go a little further into the bank here. And of course, this is something that should be monitored if this erodes away and a beaver path develops here. I think it'll be okay, but you know, it's the kind of things you got to be willing to adapt to. You know, let me go in a little bit more. I'll just pound it down with a hammer and cut off the ends if we need to.
Yeah, on the back of the trailer.
Is that good?
We tack it and trim these off.
Yeah. Another reason I kind of like to hit these is I get rid of that sharp point. Why?
Plastic jug with the staples.
Yeah, I don't know.
Back of the silver.
I got some staples here. Man, okay, I'll get it. I don't know. You have any staples? Gave mine away. Thank you. The wood in the wood. Oh, look at that staple pulled right out of that top. Interesting. That looks really good. Yeah. Really good. Yep, that's beautiful. Just like that. Let's see if we can. Yep, put those two lines together. It's okay. And so. That's free, yeah. One more thing down there?
Well, I think it's just the bottom of stakes.
Yeah.
Oh, you cut something else.
Oh!
I don't know what you cut.
Hope it wasn't important. Huh, what the hell's holding that?
Oh, I bet it's the wire on top of it, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Oh, huh. Oh, now be careful of that thing, yeah.
It's down out of the way now.
Okay, wonder if I have a bendy pipe. Yep.
No, I thought it been out of the way. Oh, those.
I'll just bend those back a little bit.
Get your shoes.
Yeah, yeah, which is a good reason not to do it more than you need to, so it actually catches it. Actually, the force is going to be this way, so yeah, but we're putting the pipe in this way, so we got to bend it back this way. Oh, okay. That should be plenty of space, don't you think? Don't have my tape measure, but I mean, it'll be close on this side, but. That's, I don't know, it's gonna be tough. 12 inches I need. Well, I guess I got enough height there. Come on. Let's just move it. Yeah, there we go. Just gonna make sure I keep those holes at the top. I tend to pull it this way a little bit when I do that. You guys just keep a little resistant force that away. Thank you. Let's see, it's not gonna work, yeah. Get upstream a little ways first, okay? And then go over the bank. Okay, good, good, good. Not too far. About 6 inches through the fence, 6 to 10 inches through the hole. Sweet.
Well, you know,
Little.
it might have been if we'd left that nipple on it and had it on the back end. It might have been
Yeah,
good.
yeah. See, this isn't particularly good with those holes aren't in the top. If we can spin this pipe, if there's any way we can
On the very top.
spin it left a little ways. Huh? I don't know, it might spin within inside here. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful, perfect. To hold it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put some, you know, a series of braces here.
Well, I mean, but do you
What?
do anything here with this stuff?
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's, it's no small, you know, the holes are smaller than the regular squares. I worry a little bit about an animal getting trapped if it tries to squeeze through there, but I mean, it wouldn't hurt to.
Put the braces right here, though.
Yeah, good point, good point. Yeah, let's just put one diagonal right there. Yep.
Go here.
How about right here? See, it's such a hard bottom, we may be able to get by with the shorter ones. I don't think I'm going to be able to drive it that far. But yeah, we want to move it this way just slightly too. There we go, that's good. Yes, spun just a little bit this way. There, that's good. Then let's try to make it level like we did before. We got to step on this side, not that side. Yeah, that's close to the top. Not bad. Yeah, we'll put a. So let's grab those shorter braces. I think we might be able to get by with those. Yeah, we'll put a brace there. That's a little bit, bends a little bit down, a little bit more kind of radically there at the end. You might want to pull the screw out and lift it up just a little bit.
Start?
Yes, please. So you guys raise that up a little?
Yeah,
Okay. Great. Why? Oh, really? Was that stiff?
Yeah.
Before we get done here, Skip, there's kind of a bend in the pipe. I don't know if you care. Right at the
Yeah, sure. I care. You know me.
Can we pull the?
Yeah,
can we just pull the joint in, maybe?
Yeah, we might just be able to kick it over a little. We'll give that.
Yeah, I think if we get that stake, if we can get the stake underneath it and use it as a pry, it'll push over real easy.
Yeah.
I think this pile of mud right here is what's holding it from going that way.
Yeah. I don't think so. I mean, it'd be great if the pipe was perfectly straight, but this is yeah, it is. It's real solid there. It's going to be move water more efficiently than the typical system where you have the humps and bends and stuff. The braces may seem like a lot of work, but I hope you trust me. They're really important. I've seen too many flotation events when I got sloppy with my braces.